Hello, welcome to the second webinar dedicated to the job scheduler, generic enabler. More specifically, we will speak about ProActive Cloud Job Scheduler. That is the implementation we propose for the job scheduler generic enabler. In the last webinar, the first one, we saw a brief introduction to the resource manager, to the scheduler, how to process some data available from an FTP server that basically was accessible from the job scheduler. This kind of FTP server could be a place where the user could store his own data to be processed and get the result. Here, in the context of the FI-WARE testbed, we propose basically a standalone solution. As we will see, the job scheduler, our implementation, is shipped as a standalone box inside the virtual machine. Inside this virtual machine, the ProActive Cloud Job Scheduler will run as a service with all the main commands to manage its life cycle. And each user inside the virtual machine will have the possibility to access to the previous demos of the last webinar, and also the next one that we are gonna show you. Briefly, we introduce you to the catalog of FI-WARE. In this case, we will speak about our job scheduler. This is a preview, so as you can see, there are described the main characteristics of the implementation, which is the goal, what you can get from this kind of implementation, which are the open specification implemented here. We see that are related to what I realize, the requirements that I get, thanks also to the baseline that is ProActive Parallel Suite. Coming back, here are the open specification, the RESTful API implemented. We can pass also to the documentation. Here basically there are all the details that we furnish in the slides that were prepared for the previous webinar. Here in fact you can get the slides. There is the related video that I re-edited to be more comprehensive. There is the baseline also definition, the installation that you should take into account if you want to deploy in your own this kind of generic implementation. The user programmer guide that is basically based on the usage of admin user password, And this kind of user will be enabled automatically by default also in the to access to the virtual machine in order to easy your shift to the from the implementation from the last webinar to this one in order to get started. Here we see the download. We saw the download. We come to the instance that is available in the FI-WARE testbed. You should get access to this URL, so you should have an account over there. This is the main pages, the main page. We start here to launch the image that is in our interface. We are gonna take it's gonna take a bit of time according with the installation and administration guide. We need to a quite powerful machine, a medium, let's say with a medium flavor. We can inject our, if you want to control totally your virtual machine, you should create your key pair and inject in the virtual machine. Otherwise, you can launch it and access it via inserting your admin password in the admin user. You could also, if VNC is enabled, you can also access to the GUI. Otherwise, you need to create your key pair. So we launch it, and now it's building. So we wait here, we let it build in background. Coming back to the catalog, we described briefly that this is actually an experimental instance. The rest server will listening at this path. Actually, I guess this is till this should be excluded, but anyway, we will see better later. As we told you before, is available for free usage, and it embeds about the ProActive Cloud Job Scheduler implementation. It embeds the internal accounting authentication authorization accounting system. It also is mentioned in the user and programmers guide, which includes the admin account. The same credentials are available for the accessing the admin account in the VM. Here there are the details of the image available as a standalone based on Ubuntu server 12.4. We see that we encourage you to inject your key pairs if you want to get the control. Once you set them and once you achieve your IP address, we can access the machine as root and change all everything without limitation. In like this, so in this case should be okay, it asks for if the host, basically remote host, is trusted. Okay, but here in the image that we created, we also inject I also inject my own keeper to access as a local admin, since it's best practice to avoid to connect as root anytime. So in this case I will access it, and this kind of choice is comfortable also whenever you have some problem with your own instance. It's comfortable to me to access to the virtual machine and understand what's the problem. So it's for technical motivation. If you want to avoid me to access to your virtual machine, it's just a matter of cleaning the authorized keys in home local. We are here. It's better to proceed like this, just to let you understand better. Basically, you need to clean this file, deleting my public key. So we check if we can have access through VNC. It's not available, but as you can see, we can SSH it. Coming back to the catalog, here we follow other details. So it says that the job scheduler is running since the boot time, and if you have also the possibility to access through VNC, the virtual machine, you could also enjoy the preview about the portal related to the scheduler and the resource manager, accessible with the same credential. Otherwise, you can proceed with the demos. Basically, the portal we saw also in the previous webinar are something that let you appreciate better what are the effects of each curl invocation against the REST interface. We see here that also we can manage the job scheduler lifecycle. That is a daemon. We see the D at the end of the name. We can start, stop, and reset. Basically allow you to get back to the initial state of the ProActive Cloud Job Scheduler. The other clean are specific related to the name that follows the clean target, and each action, if the job scheduler is running, will stop it and then will execute the clean to avoid the problem of corruption of the data. So as we said, the admin user is already enabled, so we switch to the admin. Maybe we want to browse a bit the OPT. We see that I configured the image in such a way we have everything working, and basically following also the installation and administration guide. It is published and publicly available. So maybe if I go more in deep, we see also the other folders, inner folders. Here we deleted the content of the programming and the scheduling, since is not are not useful for the in order to let the service run. The main folder that is needed is just scheduling. So in fact, if we do, for example, programming is empty. So at the boot time, the job schedule will create the databases, and we see that also we if we list also the details about the owner of this folder, we see that I created a specific user job scheduler that is able to execute the service. So this is just for ensure that execution is under a user, a system user, and it's also as best practice. Instead of running it as a root, we limit the execution to a specific user. We go to the home of this user, and we see that here there is a temp folder where are located the WAR used by Jetty to run the services, and the scheduling folder there are the details of the old default of the global data of the global space. From the architecture, we stop to the architecture point of view. We stop to the default global data space, since for the other at the moment are not mentioned, just to let you gradually be involved in this kind of understanding. So at this point, basically what we have done is take the installation and administration guide and add this kind of new configuration to allow the demonization process of the service. We go now, we switch to the admin user. Insert admin password. What we see in the admin desktop is basically what is available is placed in the skeleton folder of the virtual machine. In fact, it's the same. This is a way to standardize the home creation of the user. So if you want to add other users, the home, if you add the -m, leveraging the add the user add command, automatically these folders will be pushed in the desktop of the user. So we access the demos folder, and we see that there are the two folders, one dedicated to the first webinar, and the second is dedicated to the one that we are gonna show you. If we see also is you have the two demos, interactive demos that we leverage in the first webinar, and while for about the second one we are gonna have a demo about the local user Dataspace. Basically, since the job scheduler is executed under a specific user, we created a way to let this user write on the local user, from the virtual machine point of view, to write on the local user space, let's say. To understand better, we go to the my local data space. So this is this folder abstract what we see here, the global data space. So his own user in the desktop is my local data space that is composed of an input folder that is read-only and the output folder that is writable from a job scheduler user point of view. In fact, if we list all the details about the input, we see that the file, maybe it's better to do like this. The input space is from externally from the other user is just readable or at least executable, while for the output is also readable. Here we furnish also a template of job that we can discuss briefly. It will be called inside the demo that we are gonna launch. The demo is basically a reviewed demo of the scheduler demo, and basically instead of launching the job that is in the user and programmer's guide, we launch this new job template just to let you familiarize in this new context that is where the user is inside the virtual machine, so we want to leverage the job scheduler in this new context. So we see the less we can zoom it. Okay, so we see here that we would like to convert the we define the local data space relative. Here, if you have a different user, you need to specify here your name. In such a way, the my home variable is defined. We define automatically the local data space. And we see here that also we have the name of the file to process, that is ProActive. Actually is a ProActive JPG. The command that is used is the native, so is local to the virtual machine, and is convert. Basically will convert the JPEG format in PNG by resizing half the JPG file. This requires you, so if you want to leverage other type of program, you should get full control of the virtual machine, install it, and then proceed to launch the job, customizing it. We can quit at the moment. Okay, we list here the what's that there is the ProActive JPEG. Here there should be nothing. Okay. So the job scheduler, if we come back to the nodes, will the nodes executed under the job scheduler user will fetch from the input space the data to process, and then will push in the output space. Everything will be inside this job scheduler generic enabler virtual machine. So imagine that is your virtual machine, and each user has, instead of having a common global data space, has his own local data space. So maybe we are curious about if it is running. We see that there are some JVM started, local nodes 0, 1, and here is the script that is run at boot time. Okay, so I guess we can clear the shell, and as admin user we are gonna execute the demos, really the second demo, the demo related to second webinar, that is the current webinar. So we launch it. Here we achieved automatically the suggested IP address to insert. It is basically the IP address of the Ethernet 0. So we insert it, and then the credentials are required. We insert admin to authenticate against the ProActive Cloud Job Scheduler, and we start to execute the login. We see if it succeeds. Yes, we get the session ID. We go ahead, we check that actually I am connected. We get the true, We see the schedule status. We see started here. Okay, so we see here we take a snapshot of the actual of the admin local dataspace, and we see, as we described, we have this kind of situation where the output is empty. So we submit the job that is called job template and is in my local dataspace of the parameterized user. Here we bound the, as we told, we bound the VM username with the ProActive username in order to easy also this kind of demo. We submit the job, and okay, we get the ID. So we go ahead, insert the ID, which will convert, this job will convert the image. We got the job status, it's the task is only one task and is finished. The priority is normal, and the task name is convert. So we go ahead, we get the live logs. Okay, these are the logs generated by the convert command. We get the server logs that says we can see together one task, owner admin, executed by local node 2, finished without errors. We are happy about that. We go ahead, we insert the task name. It is convert, as we said before. We try to get the serialized value. That is, it could not be achievable, but in fact here we get 0. Basically the results depends from the type of task or the job. We fetch some schedule stats. We see one has been executed, one job has been executed, one task. We check the status account, the account status. Okay, we see here that the job scheduler, the node, local 2 nodes under the job scheduler has written the proactive.png file. It is resides. As you might check also better if you get a VNC session. And we finish here this demo. So we come back to the catalog. In a while we'll try to stop the service and do some cleaning stuff, or directly clean reset the status of the job scheduler. We see also here are indicated the condition to use this kind of job scheduler implementation. We see here that the code is under AGPL version 3. while these are the conditions for the open specification that we get across our work. Again, this is a preview about, you can see also is a draft, is under approval, but basically is what probably will appear in the next few days. We come back to the console, to the terminal. We exit from the admin, since admin is not in the sudo ers group as the local admin. So we try to manage the job scheduler life cycle. Here we see reset the service. It will require the password that you can, if you don't know it, since it's my own password, you will required you will need to change the password as root, and then insert your own password for the local admin. Okay, since the job schedule was running, it will be shut down. We wait that this kind of process will take. Basically, we will shut down it invoking the commands via curl in order to shut it down in the cleanest way, since maybe some tasks will be still under execution when you are trying to reset it. So this will wait the end of all the jobs of task execution, keeping all the data consistent. So if we see here the status of the JVM, the composite job scheduler, and there is nothing. Also, if you want to see the scheduling folder, we see that there are not any more TDBs, as well as there are not any more the job scheduler home. The temp folder is empty. Okay, thanks for listening, and hope you enjoyed also this kind of this new webinar. Maybe we see to the next one. Ciao. Ciao.